There you go. All right. I'm just going to hop into it because I don't have a whole lot of time. But so I'm just going to go. I'm going to start doing this a lot more only because it's something I enjoy. I stopped doing it because, all the judgmental people. I stopped doing it because, some people are judgmental and stuff like that. But I'm going to keep doing this because this is what I enjoy doing. And hopefully, mute that. Hopefully, it turns into something even bigger. So I'm going to try to answer some of these questions that I've gotten. Hopefully you find it entertaining. Hopefully, if you don't, hey, what are you going to do? So we're going to start doing stuff called the question of the day. And for today's question, if I can hide it here. Where is it? I'm still learning this stuff, so bear with me. So one of the questions of the day was I was asked, why do I post so much on social media? And as weird as this story is going to sound, it's a story and it's going to sound weird, but whatever. This is kind of reason. We all have our reasons for doing certain things. And this is my particular reason. So when I came to, for those of you who don't know, I was born in San Francisco, California, moved around a lot, moved to Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, spent some time there, went to Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where I spent a great deal of my life living there. Then when I was around like 11, 12 years old, I moved from the South up to Cape Cod. When I got here, I had a very, very deep accent because, again, I was from the South. That's all I ever knew. As where I grew up, I was raised by my great-grandmother and my grandma, Maddie Bailey, who's my great-grandmother, and my Medea. Southern people, we call our grandmothers Medea. Two wonderful women, rest in peace. So I was raised by those women. But when I came, moved up here to Massachusetts, to specifically Cape Cod, I had a deep Southern accent. And, going from being in the South where I was the majority and moving up north where I was a minority, I went to a class. And in that class, the teacher, asked me to read in a book. And I started reading and stuff like that. And granted, a lot of the people up here at that time, I was the only African-American kid in the entire classroom. And granted, it also had an accent. And so what they did is because this is only my interpretation of it. There's three sides of every story. But what they did was, I believe because my accent was so thick, and you can't tell by today. The only time you can tell about my accent is when I go back to the South or when I'm talking to my sister or family members on the phone. The accent tends to come back a little bit. But anyway, so I'm in class and I'm reading a book, reading my paragraph or whatever. And like all the kids started to laugh and stuff like that because, obviously I had a deep accent. And what they did was they sent me to speech class to kind of change my accent. So, over the years, if anybody who's known me, anybody who's grown up with me, growing up in high school and stuff like that, I didn't talk to anybody. For the most part, I wasn't very kind of outgoing. I had a select few people that I spoke to, didn't hang out, didn't go to parties, didn't do all the normal stuff that kids did. I was kind of like, kind of stuck to myself, so to speak. As I got older, that kind of changed, obviously. It wasn't until I got older, I think maybe in college and stuff like that, I started to kind of come out of my shell a little bit, and I started to kind of express my opinions and share my opinions. Before I would just sit back and just let people talk and not say anything and hold all those things inside and things like that. So as I get older, I guess you can say after all these years of just holding stuff inside, I've gotten to a place where I feel comfortable with just sharing my stuff with people, sharing my opinions with people, receiving opinions from people and giving feedback and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I do share a lot. I like to express myself a lot now, because when I was younger, I didn't necessarily express myself, if you will, a lot back then. So to answer that question, why I post a lot and why I communicate a lot, that's why, because when I was little, I was embarrassed to talk, for one, because I had a Southern accent being up north, and I didn't feel like I could relate to anybody. So now I'm to a place where I'm very comfortable with myself. I'm very comfortable with expressing myself, sharing my opinions and stuff like that. So that's kind of why, in a nutshell, there's a lot more stuff that goes along with it, but that's kind of in a nutshell why I post a lot and share a lot, because I enjoy people's conversation and stuff like that, which brings me to a conversation that I had today. So I try, one of my, if you've heard me talk before, one of my long-term goals or not long-term, it's kind of like a short-term goal, I guess you could say, but one of those short-term goals is to kind of stay out of the like back and forth stuff that goes on today. And I failed today. I'm not going to mention any names. Some of you probably have kind of caught it today, whatever the case may be. And let me just put the disclaimer out there now. When you see me on social media and you see me having these conversations with people, just understand that I don't take any of the stuff that you say to me to heart, unless it's just disrespectful, and I don't take it to heart. It just pisses me off. But I don't take any of the stuff to heart. I know that we all have our opinions, we all have our belief systems. I don't hold grudges against people who have different beliefs than I have, because again, that was where they was raised. Those are their beliefs, and they're entitled to those things. I just ask that people be respectful to one another. That's my only thing, is you can share any opinion that you want, but you can always do it in a respectful way, and respect each other no matter what their beliefs are. So I got into a little back and forth with this individual today, and we were talking about a common topic, and I know I've stayed away from the topic because, again, it just drives me nuts. And the topic was about the wearing of the mask and COVID being fake and all this other stuff. And I hate doing back and forths on social media for the most part, because when you're texting someone, essentially, there's a lot of stuff that's missing. You miss the person's facial expressions. You miss the person's tone. You kind of miss a whole lot when you're texting back and forth. And I think a lot of times what happens on social media is we kind of give each other the wrong impressions, because there is a lot missing. And sometimes, just texting in itself is kind of like overwhelming. But we're going back and forth about the mask, and my point was more to the idea that to me, it does, whether you like to wear the mask, don't like to wear the mask, whether you believe that the COVID thing is real, whether you believe it's fake, whether you believe it's stupid, whether you believe that, no matter what you believe, my point in the whole conversation was that at some point we have to have some sort of moral compass when it comes to the people who have lost loved ones. And I know people will say, well, people lose people all the time. People, lose people to the flu, car accident, blah, blah, blah. And true as that might be, it still doesn't change the fact that this person is grieving no matter what they lost. So at some point we have to have a moral compass and just back off some things and just kind of like let things be. Because again, like we've at somewhere along the line, we've lost the ability to have empathy. We've lost the ability to have sympathy for each other. Now, if you have empathy for someone, or if you show sympathy towards someone, you're considered a snowflake, or you consider this, or we've just become so disconnected from each other's. And again, I don't want to become like a kumbaya type of person and come across as soft and all this other stuff, but somewhere along the line, we've lost the ability to kind of just have some sort of sympathy for each other, and just, like I said, have that moral compass, that ability to be able to just say, wow, I see that this person's hurting, and even though I have my opinions about this, I know that this person is hurting, so therefore I'm going to chill right now because I know that this person is experiencing something. But it was tough, you know what I'm saying? And I try to stay out of these back and forths. I try to stay out of these like little conversations because, you know, I've made it clear that I'm not, you know, I'm not a political person. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not any of those things. I'm just me. There are some things, you know, that you would consider me to be conservative over. There's some things you consider me to be liberal over. There's some things, you know, I just don't have an opinion on. But the fact of the matter is, I do care about people. I care about people's feelings. I care about people's situations. And I had a conversation with one of my brothers, and my point is always this, you know, my opinion is never wrong. I mean, I shouldn't say never wrong, but I don't view my opinion as always right. My opinion isn't wrong. It's just my opinion. Just like I don't view anyone else's opinion as wrong or right. It's their opinion. It's their view. It's their stance. But somewhere in the middle is where the truth lies. And if we can realize that and figure that part out, then I think we'll be better off with each other. And there was a video that I did today that was kind of like a spinoff from that conversation. If you've ever, what's up, Brad? How you doing? If you've ever been in a conversation with someone, right? And this happens a lot now, more than any time I've ever seen in my entire life. If you've ever been in a conversation with someone about anything, and I'm not gonna say anything, I'm gonna just keep it 100. If you've ever been in a conversation about anyone about politics in particular, and about all the COVID stuff that's going on now, the conversation eventually ends with someone saying, "Do your research," right? And I don't know if you guys saw it earlier. There's a whole video on it. My whole point is about the whole research thing. All right. If you're going to do research, right? If you're going to do research, keep it real with yourself when you're doing your research. Going to a website, right, that is geared towards your belief system isn't doing research. When you're doing research to figure something out or get a better idea of something, what the best method should be when you're doing research is to gather information from all sources, not just your favorite source that is a paid website that you can go to that'll basically tell you exactly what you want to hear. I use the example like in the old days, they used to tell you like, oh, drink milk. And they had all this research about how great milk was and how it does the body good and how you should always drink it. And then now you fast forward to today and the research says, don't drink milk, you know, drink almond milk, stay away from all this, blah, 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 blah. So my point has always been that if you're going to do research, if you're going to like, you know, have a point that you want to argue, which I encourage everybody to have conversations, to feel comfortable with having an open floor to be able to express yourself and not be judged and not be you know, called out and stuff like that. I encourage people to absolutely have conversations. Because like that is like the foundation in which we continue to grow and build off of, is that communication that we have between each other. And once we stop doing that, once we are afraid to be able to talk to one another in fear that you'll be judged, in fear that you'll be called something or accused of being something, then that's when we lose. That's when we lose. To keep it short and sweet, we lose. So I encourage you all to just continue to, and that's another reason why I continue to post on social media. I continue to you know, share my opinions because I like to generate conversations. And again, not everyone has to agree with me, and some people don't. But at least at the end of the day, we're still having a conversation. I've lost friends, you know, not to my, you know, not by my choice. I've lost friends due to all the stuff that's going on. I've lost people who have grown up around, who no longer talk to you for whatever reason. People who have, you know, been around my kids, you know, since they were little, who shy away from you because of your belief systems and the things that, and that's okay because, you know, relationships change, people change, and people grow apart and stuff like that. But when you're growing apart because of the silly stuff that we have no control over, that's when it's just it is in itself silly. And hopefully at some point all this stuff, and I see it's changing. The phase, we go through these phases of different things. Once it starts to change, and we go through a different phase, and I believe that these relationships and stuff can heal. But right now, it's just tough to see a lot of these relationships kind of, being lost because of silly things like, like politics and all the other stuff. Because I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be a doctor. I don't know a lot about the stuff that's going on in terms of the real stuff. And like I said, there's three sides to every story. But yeah, but that's my brain. Like I said, I try to stay out of all the crazy stuff that's going on. I try to stay out of the conversations. Just because, we've had those conversations, we've had them over and over again. We continue to have them over and over again. And there's no point of like beating a dead horse over and over again. So I try to stay out of those conversations. But every once in a while, I am weak. Sometimes my cup gets full, just like everybody else, and it spills over. So, but one thing I will say to everybody is, if you have a friend that you've known for 20, 30 years, friends that you've grown up around, friends that have been a part of your kids' lives, have been a part of your lives in some fashion. I hope that you'll reach out to them at some point, regardless of their views and stuff like that. Unless it's just something that you just can't come back from, reach out to those people and try to heal those relationships, because those relationships are important. And you had those people in your life for 20 and 30 years for a reason. And so, yeah, like I said, I hope everybody had a great day today. I know the past couple of days have been great for me. I've been enjoying, the weather, enjoying spending time with family and friends, and getting out there and being able to move around a little bit more. I noticed that people are kind of starting to get out there more and enjoy themselves. I see lines in front of restaurants and stuff like that, and that's always special. There's one thing I did want to mention while I'm here. I got all these people watching. Hopefully one day I'll have like a ton of people in here just listening to my every word. But if you need a job, I know some of y'all out there need a job. There's a great family organization called Compass Moving and Storage. Has great benefits and stuff like that. Great people. I've known these people for a very long time. They're very good people, very supportive, local business owners. So if you need a job, you need some employment with the benefits, a long-term type job where, a competitive pay, stuff like that, please reach out to me or just go hit up the website that I have up here now and go check them out. And again, if you need a job, I know the weather's starting to get nice, and especially some of you youngsters out there, you need a job and you're willing to work hard. Go hit me up, and I'll link you guys up with them. Again, nice family-oriented business, competitive pay, benefits, all that good stuff. It's time for us to get back to work. There's tons of jobs out there right now. But if you want one of the good ones, I suggest you go check these guys out. Another thing, a little update on Granny Wishes. I was going to keep this a secret, but until further notice, but whatever. I'm on a roll tonight, and I thought I would share. So in case you've been living under a rock, I've been doing this. Me and my team have been doing this thing called GrannyWishesInc.org. And what that is, it's a nonprofit organization. We're a legit nonprofit organization. That basically we do a lot of stuff in the community, whether it be meals, whether it be providing financial assistance to the youngsters who want to participate in sports. We're going to hopefully be getting to a place where we can send kids to football, baseball, basketball, whatever kind of camp there is. Hopefully we're going to be sponsoring some teams over the summertime, stuff like that. But the big news I wanted to share is Jen and I have worked very, very hard. Shout out to Jen for working hard on this as well. And we have partnered with Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a huge thing for us to have kind of gotten this. It's still in the process of being finalized, which is why I kind of wanted to keep it under wrap until I knew a lot more of the details. But it's pretty much, we're 95% kind of done with the process. But I just want to let everybody know that we did partner up with Dick's. That's not what I want to do. Hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds. So yes. So like I said, we are partnering with Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a very exciting time for us. Like I said, we are going to be sponsoring a bunch of kids for summer camp programs. Again, we're still waiting for some of the final details of that partnership. But we'll be sending kids to summer camps, providing financial assistance for those things. We'll be able to add more assistance for equipment for kids who need it, things like that. And again, like I said before, we will be hopefully sponsoring some teams this summer. So again, we're still waiting on the final details of that, but we are extremely excited to be able to say that we are partnered with Dick's Sporting Goods. Again, along with them, Underground Productions, Compass Moving and Storage, Lemonadio, Wear Your Wish. There's a lot of sponsorships out there that we have. And again, it's moving along. It takes a little time. I had to learn myself that it takes a little time to kind of get everything together. Takes time to get answers from people and responses from people, but it is moving. We still are well and alive, and taking care of business. So again, if you are interested in sponsoring, if you are interested, or if you know of a kid who you know is really, really looking forward to going to a summer camp this year for football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be, depending on how things are going. If you know of a kid who needs some equipment to be able to go to participate in these things, don't hesitate to hit us up. On the website, there's a help tab. Let me see where we at. There we go. There's a little thing right there. You can go to grainwishers.org. There's a help tab. And like I said, if you know any kids that need equipment, any kids or families that are struggling with sending their kids to camps and stuff like that, don't hesitate to reach out, because we are going to have funding for that type of stuff. So I'm excited about that stuff. So again, don't be shy, don't be prideful. It doesn't even have to be your kid. If you know of a kid who needs that sponsor or that support, please reach out to us and we'll do our best to help them out. What else is going on today? So that's it for me tonight. Hope you guys had a good time enjoying this. I'm going to be doing this a lot more. I'm going to have a lot more topics, a lot more fun topics. I'm going to be bringing people on. I have a few special guests that I'm not going to reveal. As terrible as I am at keeping secrets, I'm not going to reveal those special guests. I think some of the fellas, some of the girls will be very excited for some of those special guests. I'm going to bring them right on here. And again, if you have any topics or anything like that, you know how to get in touch with me, reach out to me. We'll make it happen. So again, if you're looking for a job, please hit me up. I have a few actually organizations that are looking for people, Compass Moving Storage being one of them. If you know of anybody who needs any assistance with sports coming up, whether that be tuitions, whether that be equipment, all that good stuff, you know what to do. Hit the link or hit the website down there below. And we'll be more than happy to jump right on there. Again, I appreciate y'all all. I try to do something positive for myself or to somebody else. Oh, hold on a second. Before I get out of here, the reason why my day was so great the other day is I was having an absolute amazing day. I think it might have been on Friday. I think it was on Friday. It was an absolute amazing day I was having. I was singing, in my car vibing. It was a nice sunny day, just washed up. I call my car Lila. Just washed up Lila. Lila was looking good. And I went to Starbucks, and don't y'all judge me. Yeah, I go to Starbucks. So what? It's delicious. So I went to Starbucks and I got in line. I ordered my little drink. I ain't gonna tell y'all what my drink was because some of y'all be trying to sneak diss people. But I ordered my little drink and I went to pay for it. And I know this happens all the time, but because I didn't expect it, it just made it all that much more better. As I'm sitting in line and the lady says, "Oh, don't worry about it. The car in front of you already paid for you." And I'm like, and I didn't expect it, is what made it more special. So, and my response was, I just said, "Well, can I pay for the car behind me?" Now, obviously, I don't know what they did behind me, but it was like that random act of kindness. I was already having a great day, but that was one of those situations that small thing where just them paying for my coffee and my little Danish thing just made the day all that much more better. You know what I mean? And if I was probably in a bad mood at that moment, that probably would have put me in a better mood. And I hope I was able to put the person behind me in a better mood, and they continue to pay it forward as well. So you just never know. So like I tell people all the time, and make sure you do something nice for somebody else. Make sure you do something nice for yourself, for self-care, and y'all stay blessed, man. Y'all stay blessed. Some little quick comments down here. Man, they always send a special class. So speak differently. Yeah, man. That was kind of one of those things where it was a little weird that they would send me to speech class because I had a Southern accent, but you know, I turned out all right. I turned out pretty good. But yeah, and I try to do, like I said, going back to my original thing, I try to do something nice for somebody. I try to do something nice for, you know, the people in the community every day. And if I can't, but I try to make it a point because you never know who's having a bad day. If you are having a bad day and need somebody to talk to, you know, reach out. And I'm always available. So again, y'all have a blessed evening. Thank y'all for joining me for my little session here. Again, I'm going to try to keep practicing at this thing, get a little better to make this a little more entertaining for y'all. So again, y'all have a blessed day. If you have any topics of conversation or topics that you like to put up there, you know, don't hesitate to let me know. All right. Y'all stay blessed.